All right, stocks picking up steam. Let's call it the CP effect, right? As we head into the final hour of trading, NASDAQ now on pace for its 11th record close this year, folks. Led by Tesla and other big tech momentum names. Joining me now to discuss, Nicholas Wealth Management President David Nicholas. Hey, David, thanks for joining.
Absolutely, Charles. Thanks for having me.
Let's talk about what's driving this market. And it's sort of an eclectic mix, if you will, but Amazon leading the way. It's leading discretionary names higher. It was a laggard last year. In fact, all of these names, I call it the MAGA rally, right? Microsoft, Apple, Google, and Amazon. All trillion-dollar names, all have gotten hot again, and they're taking off. I mean, should people be chasing them?
Yeah, I think a company like Amazon, it makes sense, right? It didn't do nearly as well as some of the other names, tech names like an Apple. So yeah, I think I like Amazon. There's a lot to like. What excites me about a company like Amazon is actually some of the other areas like shipping. Amazon, I think, is really looking to take on the FedEx, UPSs of the world. I mean, it's very realistic that soon we could be shipping packages, Amazon coming to our door, delivering. So I think that's going to be a game changer for them as well. So yeah, don't bet against the MAGA stocks. I mean, it's been easy to make money in this market, but owning those stocks specifically, you would have done really well in a portfolio.
You know, I find intriguing, they're really breaking out their advertising for the cloud, AWS. Someone asked me the other day, what is AWS? You know, a non-market person, but someone who uses Amazon a lot. And it feels like even if you think they may be broken up, I mean, as an investor, you'd own shares in potentially the cloud play and the retail play.
Yeah, the cloud play is the play. It's a big play for Amazon, but there's other companies too. I mean, IBM's looking to compete there as well. I mean, you see that with the hiring of their new CEO. So I think cloud's big going forward. There's other companies going to want to get involved here, but I think it's the big players like the Microsoft and the Amazon with their large market share. They'll be the long-standing players.
I'm glad you brought up IBM. IBM took off after Rometty was removed or moved away as CEO, if you will. Twitter reported last week, I didn't think it was a great number per se, but that monetized monthly active user number sent it to the moon. It feels like even these also-rans are starting to find bids now also. I mean, is this an area for folks because they were struggling for a reason?
Yeah. So if you look at a company like IBM, it's really for the future, right? Where's IBM headed? Cloud's big for them. But Charles, I don't know if you agree with this. If you just look at IBM's trading at 10 times forward earnings, a 4.5% dividend, I mean, that seems somewhat of a floor for me on that stock. I think it's a healthy place to enter if you think the future is going to be brighter. I think it will. Twitter, huge user growth, but I still am figuring out how are they going to monetize continued growth, monetizing their users. So I'm not as bullish on Twitter, but I do like IBM if you want a dividend and you want some reasonable upside in the future.
No, I think you're right. I think IBM's found itself in a sweet spot, and Wall Street's going to give them the benefit of the doubt with this new CEO from the cloud division. With less than a minute, I'm going to hit you with a couple of things, right? I want to ask you about Tesla potentially being bought out. $1,500 a share. I don't think it's far-fetched. $270 billion. The rumor that Google would go after them has been around for a while. Forbes brought it up again today.
Yeah, I mean, is it an automotive company? Is it a data company? I mean, I guess we don't know yet. One thing I'd say is I don't necessarily want to bet against Elon Musk. And I think he's continued to show us that there's a future for Tesla. I don't know about that marriage between the two, but I do think the future is very bright for Tesla and for its investors.
And I think that $1,500 number now becomes a target, a new target, if you will, much higher than that 420 number. Hey, David, you're fantastic, my man. You took everything and you helped us in it all. We appreciate it.
Charles, thanks so much for having me, man.